Story 1. Seeing the same thing over and over. Different subreddits, same subreddit, anywhere, everywhere. I just want artificial intelligence to know if it has shown me something before and then never show me again. Then I could read all posts on all subreddits in 5 hours. Story 2. Achievements are stupid and annoying. I hate getting told I just did something. Like, yeah, I know I was the first to comment on a post. I know what subreddits I frequent. I know I get on Reddit most days. I don't need some brain rot feature to tell me those things. I miss just getting on here and doing my thing without getting bombarded by dumb stuff. Story 3. How subreddits, no matter the topic, I am not even talking politics, gradually become more and more like echo chambers to the point of resembling a low-key cult. This is especially true if it is a smaller subreddit with a bunch of permanently online regulars. Story 4. Reddit's inability to understand a generalization. If somebody makes a general statement about something, a Reddit user will point out one fringe exception and think that they won the argument. Story 5. This is not exactly specific to Reddit, but every American election cycle, which is absurdly long, completely ruins every subreddit. Everything becomes about American politics, even in subreddits that are not political at all. It's inescapable and infuriating. Story 6. Politics in a non-political sub mostly. I have only been on Reddit for a couple of years, so I guess this was my first election cycle on Reddit. But yeah, that is annoying. Story 7. How a lot of Reddit users view everything in black and white, or how many Reddit users want a source for very basic and obvious facts about life that you can deduce by just interacting with the general population outside your house. Story 8. Political propaganda everywhere. Most users believe everything is black or white and will downvote anything that's not completely aligned with their views, ignoring any rational discussion. Moderators of some subreddits should really get a life. Story 9. People downvote the most non-controversial or negative comments. You can just be having a discussion and comment a response to someone, and then it gets downvoted. I was literally answering someone's question on a travel forum, and it was getting downvoted. It wasn't controversial, negative, or argumentative. Why do we just downvote? Downvoting a post that is simply asking a normal question is so weird to me too. Why so negative? Story 10. Downvoting for a mild difference of opinion. The downvote should be reserved for misinformation or offensive content. If someone doesn't like your favorite band or food, grow up and either share why you disagree or just ignore the comment like an adult. Story 11. Power-tripping moderators is a big issue someone else mentioned. When they ban you from a subreddit just because you joined another subreddit they don't agree with, for example. Not to mention the giant overhaul Reddit did over 5 years ago by whitewashing, banning, and quarantining so many subreddits. It basically went mainstream, like when your grandma figured out Facebook, and you were like, well, now Facebook is officially dead. Then there's the same questions asked repeatedly, echo chambers everywhere, bot spamming, garbage subreddits that copy main existing subreddits, making everything more confusing for everyone, and questions like this where I'm not sure if you're just a random guy or someone that works for the company because I see so many promoted posts, but there are some sneaky, tricky ways around it. But when it comes to users, the thing I find most annoying is the endless hypocrisy. And sometimes when I'm on here and starting to get secondhand anxiety over something bad that happened to someone's health or life, I have to remind myself, it's Reddit. A bunch of little weaklings. Edit. Also, getting notifications over nothing. Good job on your Reddit streak. The dumb achievements like they're trying to copy Duolingo's format, and not always getting notifications about replies, upvotes, etc. Story 12. When there are those dumb sing-along threads. Or at least that's what I call them in my mind. Just typing or copying and pasting the next line to a song that everyone knows. I honestly can't explain why it makes me cringe so much, but it does. Story 13. The ludicrous moderation, in which people are automatically banned from subreddits if they subscribe or comment in a subreddit that the banned subreddit deemed thought crime. That, and the ridiculous threatening violence standards. A friend of mine was given a warning for telling someone to take a short walk off a long pier. There are literally subreddits dedicated to stealing from stores, and that's the sort of nonsense it cares about. Story 14. Echo chambers. Hypocrisy. Preaches openness and nuance. but the comments and moderators blocking, banning, or deleting certain things that go against the hive mind mentality say otherwise. Story 15. The commenting and voting system fosters partisanship. Even if one doesn't mind sharing an unpopular opinion on one subreddit, people will go out and try to negatively impact comments by that same person in other subreddits. Small subreddits seem to do okay, but once a subreddit gets a large enough level of participation, partisanship will take over. Story 16. Stories about unlikely scenarios that are clearly fictional. I think people enjoy trying their hand at creative writing just to see what kind of response they will receive. Story 17. I don't love the structure of subreddits. Things pop up, I might find them interesting and want to join the discussion. What I don't do is find something interesting, go to the subreddit, open up the rules, and make sure I am not in some excluded class that isn't allowed to post there. Story 18. I hate when I post a question and everybody focuses on the wrong part of it and not the part that actually mattered. I also hate when people respond very literally and specifically to what you typed and don't give some leeway to a spelling mistake. Like if you ask, "Why do we breathe oxygen?" and instead of assuming you mean oxygen and answering based on that, they act clueless like, "What's oxygen? I've never heard of that before. We don't breathe that." And don't say anything actually useful. Like, you know what I mean? It's not that far off. Story 19. Extreme extremism. Too many people don't just see the world in black and white. They see it in black and white, and leniency or forgiveness aren't on the menu. Your wife or husband did something that hurt you. Divorce. Your significant other called you a fool. Red flag, run away. That 10-year-old kid was annoying people with his water pistol until someone punched him in the face. Justice served, and his parents should be in jail. Thief? Jail. Yes, but it was just an apple? Still jail. Okay, but it was on the ground? Still jail. Some threads look like everyone is angry, and it's rarely a pleasant read. Story 20. The hate. I guess it's the same for all social media, but the insane amount of hate is heartbreaking. The rage bait, the hate speech, and the fact that people have lost their empathy when talking to someone since it's not face-to-face, so who cares, right? It's sad. Story 21. The constant United States defaultism and its politics infect everything. You have people upset about having to vote for 3 entire years. The American people cannot go to the Democratic Party website or similar sites to read about party policies. They need a 36-month-long publicity tour. That and the extremely obvious artificial intelligence bots in the Storytime subreddits like Am I Online and Am I the Asshole and so on. Story 22. For me personally, I wish it was a bit more moderate politically. I'm not saying be straight up right-leaning and especially not to the levels of Make America Great Again, but as someone that's more in the middle, it can be annoying having or seeing a middle ground opinion that gets downvoted to oblivion. I know there are communities that include moderates or centrists, but overall, I just get the vibe that most of Reddit, even if you're 99% with the left and its ideologies, if you're not 100%, then you're cast away, you get a ton of downvotes from mob mentality or you're banned, which I don't understand why. I'm a young guy, 28. It's not like I'm out of touch or anything, but there are just certain things where I'm like, yeah, that opinion is logical and makes sense, but it gets so much hate. It makes me feel like I'm losing my mind or something. Story 23. The new habit of Reddit sending a notification to something that is not directed to me. If it should be anywhere, it should be in my feed. Most of these notifications are not even good posts. Notifications should be responses to my posts or comments. Messages directed to me. I guess I'm getting the notifications because I'm not engaging. So what? Pointless notifications annoy me, and I feel less like being involved with something that is annoying me. Story 24. Not being able to highlight and copy text on mobile. Literally have to screenshot and use my phone's text recognition to highlight the desired text section and copy that way. If I do not want to copy the entire text body and paste it into notes, make a selection there, copy, etc. Bizarre decision. Story 25. The nihilistic questions on AskReddit. Did you see a puppy get run over by a car? How old were you when you were attacked by wolves? Did you return the grocery cart when you finally stopped being homeless? Story 26. I hate that you kind of cannot just post stuff. Not if you want anyone to see it anyway. It has to be in a subreddit and be related to that subreddit and abide by that subreddit's rules, and face the judgment of moderators and the insular culture of that particular subreddit. Shower Thoughts rejects exists specifically because it is so hard to post on there. Sometimes you have a thought you feel is worth sharing, but it just does not fit anywhere. Kind of stifling. Story 27. I hate how common it is for people to purposely misinterpret what somebody is saying just to prove a point or be right. Also, I hate how people play semantics here or just in general be a smartass. Story 28. The flurries of downvotes that happen when any opposing viewpoint is presented, or when someone is genuinely asking something in earnest, snuff out a lot of potential for real discussion and turn comment sections into a series of comments reiterating the exact same thoughts repeatedly. Story 29. The individuals who choose to get falsely outraged over some tiny detail of something you post are quite annoying. However, hate is too much effort for some random unpleasant people online. Story 30. Lack of citation or a link when discussing or arguing with each other causes misinformation to travel even faster. This issue is brought up once every week or two on different subreddits. So yes, we as a community know it's a problem. Please check multiple sources, both legacy and new. Story 31. I'm not always on Reddit, so I don't know much about moderators or any specific communities, but I do see quite a few people get downvoted heavily for stating factually correct statements. There are so many people who want to talk about being positive to one another, yet they turn around with a holier-than-thou attitude and try to make you feel lesser than them because they have more likes on a comment, as if that matters. Story 32. Everyone thinks they are an expert on everything. I especially dislike those men's fashion forums where any outfit that is posted receives criticism about how bad the choices are or how it does not work, when I know it is just a group of people at a keyboard criticizing someone who cares about their appearance. Story 33. Some moderators are very particular. For example, I got banned from a subreddit because I posted a meme using that template where the person gets thrown out of the corporate window. The moderator claimed I was promoting violence. I tried to explain that it was just a meme and got muted, meaning I can't even complain about it. Story 34. I swear to God, anytime I post anything, I get downvoted like crazy or my post gets deleted, even if I'm following the moderator's rules. I just posted a map on the geography subreddit of all the states I've been to and asked what state people thought I was from, and I have negative votes and negative comments. I see others post the same thing all the time, and they get a ton of good and funny feedback. It's literally like Reddit has it out for me. I know that's not true, but sometimes I'm seriously shocked at the reactions I get to completely normal posts. And the moderators are biased half the time and delete things for whatever reason because they can. Story 35. Been here 15 years. It would be unrecognizable to many newer Reddit users if they could see it. The last 5 years or so, with the rise of ads everywhere, and karma exploiters and bots popping up on every subreddit I subscribe to, is very noticeable. The subreddit AskReddit is loaded with the same questions over and over. I get why that works for the bots. We want to answer questions and get comment karma, as well as offer our opinion, yes? I mean, the subreddit Soup and Cooking, for a couple of examples, have people posting photos from other websites. And Old School Cool is a super easy target for them to get karma. All they need to do is post a picture of a female star from the past showing leg or breasts. Easy over 1,000 to 2,000 upvotes with about 25 to 50 comments. Big win. That's actually pretty funny. Guys will be guys, right? And very cool pictures of posters' grandparents and whomever from long ago only get a couple hundred upvotes. That's sad. Story 36. I hate the moderators who think they can make up rules on the fly just because they do not agree with your post. The best thing for Reddit would be to get rid of the moderators and let it govern itself. Before long, all the trolls would be blocked, and people could have an honest, intelligent discussion. Story 37. It feels like almost every community has a groupthink, and if you go against that, you're attacked. I find it difficult to talk about almost anything I enjoy because my preferences are often not what the Reddit masses feel. It's probably a generational thing a lot of the time, as I understand a lot of posters are young, and I'm pushing 50. Story 38. Let me be clear that I've only started hating it recently, about 2 to 3 years. I think it is an awesome site in general, held down by its users, real and fake alike. Since others have already covered the echo chambers, which is my number one complaint, I'll have to go for the stupid humor and endlessly repeated quips which are related. Go to any thread remotely related to the Ukraine war, and you'll find tons of comments of this kind. Better not go near any windows. Should make their own tea from now on. Jumped from the 153rd floor while shooting himself in the back of the head twice. That's Russia's history. And then it got worse. This is just one example that came to mind, but it seems like Redditors are in a competition of one-upping each other to see who's the biggest smartass or funny guy. It's exhausting, and it completely derails any semblance of discussion.